Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So excited to be here with you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. So everyone, I'm going to give everyone a chance to jump on. I'm going to pull up your comments so that I can see you guys for the most part. So say hi. Let me know where you're joining us from. Hopefully some of you guys might be on a lunch break. But we're going to basically today for today's Craft-In event, every other Wednesday, we try to do what we call a play to create demonstration, but really it's a chance, whether you are new to Kiwi Lane, to kind of see the process and kind of get that first demonstration introduction. But also if you are, a fan of Kiwi Lane and you're familiar with the designer templates and the play to create process and how it works, hopefully there's a couple ideas in here that spark an interest for you that you can use in your own personal scrapbooking. Specifically, we're going to be doing scrapbooking today. So I always look forward to seeing someone take an idea that we were able to play to create during these lives and make their own version of that. So, all right, good. I can see you guys. Hello, Cynthia, Lynn, how are you from Florida? How's the weather in Florida, California? Good, awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So for today's play to create, usually we focus on a 2-page layout. So normally I'll have like two sheets down, right? And they'll be side by side. And so when I'm doing that, then usually I'll just take my designer templates and we will create right on top of our background sheets. So again, if you're not familiar with the play to create system, I just wanted to share that usually I am, well, not usually, all the time, what I'm creating on is my background sheets. But today I thought it would be fun to actually work maybe on some one-pagers. I know a few of you guys in the play to create community were talking about how occasionally you do one-pagers, and that's true for me too. I personally love that I can do a nice 2-page spread with a lot of pictures, but let's just see what we can create as far as one-pagers. It's kind of been a while actually, so I'm looking forward to playing with some one-pagers. I always think of like this, how cute would this be on a layout? That's the keepsake. That was from a Kiwi Club, past Kiwi Club, but you can definitely make that out of, say, like large brackets. If you have large brackets, you can do that. Here, I'm trying to grab my photos. Here they go. So again, the key here is just kind of visualize and play. Just play until you create something. So one-pagers really are easy kind of to design up around. And I am going to be throwing in the adorable trees. Let's just embrace fall while we have it, right? It goes by so quickly. How easy and simple something like that could be. I know sometimes I'm like, oh, that's cute. Let's just go with that. And that's really how the play to create system is designed, to allow you to quickly come up with a design. Sometimes we overthink it, we overanalyze it, but it really doesn't have to be too complicated. Something as simple as this will do the trick, right? I was just looking at this space right here and I was thinking, oh, you could add even another little, sorry, I'm fumbling through guys here. A bracket. Let's see, that's a tiny bracket. It's kind of too small. Let's do a regular size bracket, an accessory here. There we go. Like, just thinking something layered behind here. Kind of go, you could even match those 2 points up. Add some journaling there. Basic, design like that. Very simple, or take it a level further. Again, you could do like a leaf here, just a little accent, maybe a couple of those falling around there. There, simple and easy. We have one layout that we quickly designed. And normally when you're doing a one-pager, well, sometimes you mostly see like one picture on a layout, but in this case, I have 2 pictures and we're gonna now clear the surface, clear our canvas, and we're gonna start again, see how many more pages we can come up with the time that we have together. All right, so I'm gonna put that aside. That was actually really cute. Every time I do these play to create demonstrations, I'm always like, son of a gun, now I just want to stop and create all of those that we just did, right? So you can start with, especially if you're doing a one pager, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason. I often do start with some borders, but really what makes up a layout for if you're using the play to create system is just some kind of photos and your accessories and just really using those on the different surfaces, right? As far as your canvas goes. Am I upside down on that? All of a sudden my camera went upside down. I'm not sure why that's the case. Huh. Are you guys seeing me sideways? I think I might be. Hold on, let me refresh the page here. Well, hopefully you guys can tilt your head to the, I don't know why all of a sudden it just decided to do that. So, okay. So let me go ahead and throw a border in with this mix. And since we are kind of focusing more on some fall, lately I've been using McKay Boulevard, super fun set. You know, really a one pager is really just taking a two pager and you're only using half of the portion. I mean, any of the designs, like if you see like some in our idea book, really you could take any of those two pagers and make it into a one pager, just using one side of the layouts, right? A lot of times with one pagers though, I think that style, it definitely has more of a like scraps of paper kind of collage behind it. So I'll sometimes take like my larger photo sets, and even though you know, they have photos on them, mentally I'm making a design choice that would probably be like a pattern paper or something behind my photos. So you can play around with that as far as using these, not necessarily for photos, but for blocks of paper, right? To kind of use up those scraps of paper. So if you did that, and then these two could technically be photos in that case. And I was just thinking, how cute would it be? Let's see here. Right, you could do a tree here, kind of pull in the round tree in this case. Well, that trunk doesn't quite go with that. Let's pull in this long one, this one, and this one. So I personally love these trees from this month's Kiwi Club kit. I think they're a lot of fun. You can mix and match them. So just like the trunks and the tree tops, right? So you can just play around with those different options as far as which one you use with what, and just kind of seeing those different things. I also can't help but like when I look at this, think of like a cloud. So, you know, have fun, play to create, right? All right. Okay, so now that we have that laid out, you guys see, it really doesn't take much. Just something very simple like that, and you'll have a really, really cute design. So definitely make sure to play to create and just have a lot of fun with those designs. So I always just want to keep scrapbooking them, but yes. So, okay, so let's do one more. Are you guys up for another one? Okay, maybe on this one, let's go ahead and convert this just to kind of really set in stone the concept that if you have a two pager, it can become a one pager, or vice versa. It could become a one pager can become a two pager. So I'm going to slide in backgrounds here, and we're going to convert this now into a two pager. So let's take our original design here, and let's say that's the right side of our page, and this is the left side of our page, right? Well, then let's go ahead and grab the other side of my border, which I was using McKay Boulevard. So I'm going to go ahead and take that and put it over here somewhere. And you can kind of mimic that same concept of something that you have going on over here. So whether that's you just want to go across, right? So you can keep that design going across your page, and then throw in a couple more photos if you want to do something like that. Let's see, where's my other tree at? And you can like bookend it with a couple trees. Simple enough, very easy. That could be really fun. Or we could do more of a, let's think here. Let's see, I have another 5x7. So if I wanted to kind of go along with, this would be a bigger piece of paper, more of like a matte sheet, then I could bring that background concept across my page. Actually, let's go smaller. Let's add a couple more pictures into the mix here. Again, so with a one pager, normally 1 to 3 pictures. Well, it depends on your style and if you want to kind of keep it clean, but you know, with a 2 pager, you're really just kind of mixing that up. Or of course, if you really want to add a lot more pictures, you can play around with the photo templates to really get that the right set of pictures needed for your layout on that. And always kind of keep in mind tucking, right? It's definitely something you'll see often in the samples is more tucking of designs into other little elements. So naturally, maybe you think, oh, well, I'm going to just put the leaf up here, right? Just like let it float. Well, if you kind of keep them close and secure to your other designs, then it feels a little bit more cohesive. So I think the leaf is adorable as a full leaf somewhere, but it's also really cute if you just allow that to kind of tuck around your photos, and it allows your photos to kind of be that spotlight. And yeah, so there's another design. Another quick design that we just played to create. So just remember when you are personally playing to create, and it does take a moment, like if you are brand new and you're just learning about Kiwi Lane, or even if not, it really does take a moment for your mind to kind of process that transition from whether that's staring at an empty canvas, which I remember those days, or over analyzing it, like trying to like think about it all and get it perfect. The key here is just to play, give yourself freedom to play. And in that process, it will actually speed up. The more you allow yourself just to play with the designer templates, which is the first step, right? Before you really trace or cut anything out of your paper or cut your pictures or anything like that, it's just to allow yourself to play. And often I do stand up, like right now I'm demoing standing up, but often I actually do stand up. I quickly put together a design, because then once your design is done, the next steps is just to trace, cut, ink, replace, right? So a lot of those times it's either we are trying to come up with the concept, get our creative juices flowing, right? And the tools, the designer templates are there just to help you tap into that creativity. But a lot of the time we, hinder our creativity by not giving ourselves space and freedom to just kind of explore and see what we can come up with, which is why it's so important to just play, to explore what designs, what possibilities. And even though sometimes that can be overwhelming because the options are endless, just again, try not to overthink it. Like if you find a design, I could have kept going. I could have kept going with all of these designs, but just kind of go with that one. And I'm sure you'll come up with many more designs for future designs. Actually, another tip that I always recommend people that are having a hard time, like settling on a specific layout or a design that they created, just put a timer on. Like maybe if you need to kind of, have this end goal in mind, then really put a timer on for like say 10, 15 minutes, come up with a couple options, and then between the options that you played to create, choose one of them and then just move forward with your design. That is like the easiest way I can think of it until you kind of get into this this mode of decision making. So, but we all have our days, just so you guys know. I even have my days sometimes that it just doesn't quite go. And so sometimes when I'm actually playing to create, for example, like if I am not sure about something, then I will take my border and start cutting it out and piecing it together. But again, as you go, it's not permanent. So you could adjust things as you need to see fit. So again, it's just there to help you have this like nice visual tool, ability to see what you're doing and to be able to design as you go along as well. So, okay, guys, well, hopefully one of those ideas inspired you. I hope you guys are pulling out some of your, if you're a Kiwi Club member, pulling out those designer templates that are so much fun, especially during this fall season. I know for me, every time this season comes around, I just want to embrace and surround myself with everything fall. So yeah, my kids, you know, I don't know how many more times we can eat pumpkin cookies, but I think a lot more times, a lot more times. We're going to get it full in because the seasons go by too fast. And so you got to embrace it as you go. All right. Do you guys have any questions? How about helping our creativity with a sneak peek of the new templates? Denise, it's only the middle of October. Maybe closer towards the end of October for November. Do you use a certain amount of accessories for your embellishment clusters? Tracy, that's a good question. I think what you're kind of asking is, you know, I really don't. So here, let me kind of express a little bit more on that perspective. Yeah, you could see here, I kind of clustered in twos, right? That was kind of, I don't know, just happened to be the case. I think it's all about when you're using whatever accessories, it's about the sizings of them. So for example, if I wanted to, you know, adjust this here, I could take this vintage a la carte. You know, I don't really have a creative process that I could think to translate as far as that question goes on that. Yeah, it's really, I feel like when things feel odd, you notice, like if you have your pictures laid out, that's why a lot of people feel, I've noticed a couple things. When it comes to accessorizing, people feel like they need to fill the spaces, like, right, have everything kind of covered. And so I always recommend kind of pulling in like a focal point, and it's okay, even I happen to put the leaves up here, but it's okay to have, you know, empty, clean space. I think that actually, again, really allows your memories and your photos to shine. The only other thing that I definitely noticed too with accessorizing is if something feels off, like if you're like, man, something's missing, a lot of the times it's just one more layer. So for example, like say if I had that and you're like, well, it's not quite ringing true to me. Here, we're going to change this from a fall layout to maybe more of a spring layout here by just changing those accessories. That could be cute if you did like one of these leaves on both sides of that, kind of like framed in your photo there. So if that was the case, then I might look at this and just quickly say, okay, I'm going to throw in a tiny. I know for me that has happened a lot. And honestly, it does still happen where I'll look at it and be like, man, something's missing, something's missing. Now I've kind of trained myself to go through like a mental checklist where I'm like, well, would one more layer somewhere just adjust this and make it feel so much more complete? You know, so I kind of go through this mental note, could I add one more layer? And those are often the final touches. You don't usually have that during your first initial planning to create, even myself. And then at the end of my layout, then I do just a quick view. And sometimes I see even you guys post in the community, you're like, I'm not quite sure, I'm not quite loving it. Take a mental note and say, okay, could I add one more layer? And I think by doing that, it actually feels more, I don't know, like more concrete, like more upscaled, like it just feels more finished sometimes with those extra layers. And you're talking, even on that case, you're talking, it's just your scraps of paper that you're utilizing at that point. Sometimes we get to a point where we want to just be done with the layout, right? We just want to be done with the layout. But sometimes just stepping back for 2 seconds and putting another 10 minutes in to add just maybe a couple other finishing touches will do the trick when it comes to embellishing or accessorizing your pages. Those little extra touches, whether that is a button or some string or a couple more layers with the designer templates, again, depending on your preference. So does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. New things coming November 5th, Friday. We know what it is coming. Yes, Robin. So make sure you guys are marking your calendar. I am counting down the days. We only have 2 more days till that party, and that will be on Friday. So make sure to pay attention for that. That is that Friday's event at 6 p.m. Central Time. And we will be introducing our November Q4 release, which will not be available till November 5th, but we're doing a pre-release showing party on that. And we will be having fun giveaways during that. Samira says, I'm working on a pumpkin patch page now using the pumpkins and leaves. Ooh, fun. How fun. I know my kids they want to go to a pumpkin patch. So, so we're kind of looking and seeing what's open, and they want to do like a corn maze, but we got to see what's open around this time with COVID and everything. So no, Valerie, I'm going to keep those Friday templates to Friday so that everybody can come to that pre-release party. So make sure to check back in Friday. And of course, if you can't join us Friday, there'll be the replay, but I'm not going to do any sneak peeks today on that. So, all right, guys, keep playing, creating, and connecting, and we will talk to you guys later.